B, look at the verbs involved in exercise 1A and answer the questions. Are they describing A, an action that was completed at a given point in time, or B, an action that was in progress over a period of time? Which of these do you think is the correct option? We are talking about the verbs involved, right? What are they describing? What do you think, guys? An action that was completed at a given point in time, or an action that was in progress over a period of time?
I think it's B.
B, right? An action that was in progress over a period of time. Remember that when we have ing form of the verb, the ing form, and also the verb to be in our sentence, it means that it's an action that is in progress. Okay, so yes, an action that was in progress over a period of time. Number 2, which actions happen first? So as you can see, we have 2 columns here. The ones in the first half or the ones in the second half. Which of these actions happen first? Which of them?
I think the letter B.
The second half. Ok, vamos a leer la oración. Vamos a ver, ok. Por ejemplo, él estaba temblando tan fuerte y él encontró que tuvo un dolor de espalda. ¿Cuál pasó primero? ¿Primero tembló o primero tuvo el dolor de espalda y después tembló? ¿Cuál pasó primero?
Primero tuvo el dolor de espalda y después tembló.
Primero tuvo el dolor de espalda y después tembló. No, primero tembló y de lo que tembló tanto, le dolió la espalda. Lo mismo con esta primera oración. ¿Ok? Sus dientes estaban chocando tan fuerte del temblor que él sentía de frío, que luego encontró solamente piezas de dientes en su boca porque se habían quebrado todos sus dientes de tanto temblar. ¿Ok? Lo mismo con la última oración. Ellos habían estado echándose, acostándose en la nieve por 2 días cuando la tormenta finalmente terminó. Entonces, las acciones que pasan primero son todas las que tenemos en la primera parte de la oración, en estos ejemplos. ¿Ok? Entonces, primero pasó esto y luego lo que tenemos acá en la segunda parte. ¿Ok? So today we're going to talk about these tenses here. Had been chattering, had been shivering, and they had been laying. Okay? So what tense is this, guys? What is the tense that we have here? How do we call this tense?
Present perfect continuous.
Present perfect continuous. Okay. What do you think, guys? Do you agree?
Past perfect continuous.
Past perfect continuous. Why? Why past and not present?
Because we have the had instead of have.
We have the auxiliary verb had instead of have, right? That's why we can recognize that this is the past perfect continuous. Okay, very good. So we're going to remember a little bit of the past perfect, when to use it, how to use it, how do we form it, and after that, the past perfect continuous. I want you to take notes. Don't forget to write your doubts and your questions so we can solve them, okay? So here we have the past perfect tense and the structure for affirmative sentences, negative sentences, and questions, okay? So what do you think is the structure we use for the past perfect simple tense? What do we use? How can we form this sentence, affirmative sentences? Any ideas?
Subject, had plus past participle.
Very good, yes. We have a subject, the auxiliary verb had in the past because it's past perfect, and the verb in the past participle form, right? After that, we can have the object or the complement. Very good. What about the negative sentences? How can we change this affirmative sentence to the negative form?
Subject plus had plus negative not plus verb plus participle.
Yes, very good. The only thing we need to do is to add not to the auxiliary verb, right? We can say had not, or we can say hadn't. So we need to add not to the auxiliary verb, right? And what about the question form? How can
Had,
we? Mhm.
had, subject, and the verb in past participle.
Yes, very good. So the only thing we need to do is to change the position of the auxiliary verb. The auxiliary verb always goes at the beginning of questions, right? And after that, the subject. Very good. So here we have the use of the past participle, the past perfect. It is used to talk about a completed action that happened before a certain point in the past. So when we use the past perfect, we talk about an action that happened before an event, before another action, before a date, before something in the past. And this is a completed action. For example, I just finished work when I heard a knock at the door. Okay, as you can see here, we have two actions or two events. So which of them do you think happened first and which happened after? Which of them happened first? What do you think? ¿Cuál pasó primero y cuál pasó después?
The first finish work.
Yes, I had finished work happened first. And after that, I heard a knock at the door. Okay, as you can see, we use the past perfect when we are talking about an activity, an action that happened before another action or another point in the past. Okay, and this is a completed action, algo que se completa. Okay, for example, what can I say? I had finished my language career before I started to work at the KAI. Okay, I'm going to write my sentence and I want you to think in your sentences, okay? Or le voy a poner I hadn't, porque también podemos hacerlo en negativo. Algo que no pasó antes de un periodo de tiempo. I hadn't finished my languages degree before I started working at the KAI. Oh, I En lugar de finish, voy a poner gotten, ¿ok? I hadn't gotten my languages degree before I started working at the CAI. No había obtenido mi diploma de idiomas antes de trabajar en el CAI. Okay? So we can use this for something that didn't happen before a period of time or a point of time in the past. So I want you to think in your sentences. Could be affirmative or could be negative. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute so you can think in your sentence. And then we can listen to your ideas, okay? Please, Lady Isabel, what is your example?
Okay. I had eaten my breakfast quickly when I joined to the English class.
Okay, I had eaten my breakfast quickly before I joined the class. Very good. Saba?
Had the water boiled when you went to kitchen?
Okay. Had the water boiled when you went to the kitchen or when you entered to the kitchen? Very good. Eric?
I had broken my cell phone when it fell to the floor. When
Mm,
it fell to the floor. Cuando cayó al piso.
ok, pero si se da cuenta, cuando cae al piso, recién se quebra, ¿cierto?
Yes.
Entonces, cuando utilizamos el pasado perfecto, estamos hablando de una acción que pasa antes de otra, no después, ¿ok? Usted podría decir, my cell phone had been broken when I picked up. Por ejemplo, mi celular se había roto o la pantalla de mi teléfono se había roto cuando yo lo levanté. ¿Ok? Entonces estamos hablando de una acción que pasa antes de algo, no después. ¿Ok?
Teacher, thank you.
Gary?
I had started my class when I received a phone call.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go to the next part, the past perfect continuous. Okay. So here we have the past. Yes.
Sorry, tengo una pregunta.
Ujú.
¿Podría volver a la diapositiva anterior? Para hacer una oración, sí o sí la segunda oración, la segunda parte, como por ejemplo, I heard a knock at the door, ¿tiene que estar en pasado simple o puede estar en pasado continuo, pasado, no sé?
Generalmente va a estar en pasado simple. ¿Ok? Porque estamos en la segunda parte, estamos describiendo un punto de tiempo en el pasado o una actividad en el pasado. ¿Ok? Generalmente va a estar en el pasado simple, pero puede ser que encontremos algún ejemplo en el pasado continuo, pero es muy difícil. Muy difícil,
Ok.
generalmente va a estar en el pasado simple, ¿ok?
Está bien, teacher, gracias.
Okay. Let's go to the next part. It says past perfect continuous. So you have the examples here on the exercise 1 in the book here. So I want you to tell me what is the structure we use for the past perfect continuous affirmative sentences. So how do you,
Had been bear in ing. Yes.
yes, very good. Subject. We have the subject, had, always the auxiliary had for perfect tenses, especially for the past perfect. Been, the verb to be in the past participle form, and the ing form of the verb. Remember that we always form continuous tenses with a verb to be and an ing form of the verb, right? Okay, very good. What about the negative sentences?
Subject plus have plus not plus being
Mm-hmm.
plus verb with ing.
Yes, very good. The only thing we have to do is to add not to the auxiliary verb, right? So we can say subject had not or hadn't, right? And the rest is exactly the same. What about the question form? Question form?
Had, subject, been, and verb in ing form.
Very good. So the only thing we need to do is to change the position here, right? Okay. So here we have an example. It says, I have been waiting for 30 minutes when the bus finally arrived. Okay. So as you can see, in these kind of sentences, we describe an action that was in progress. Okay, it's used to talk about an action that was in progress before a certain point in the past. Before the bus arrived, I had been waiting for 30 minutes. So this action happened first, and after this action, the bus finally arrived. Okay. There is normally a doubt, or I don't know. We used to mix the past continuous or with the past perfect continuous, okay? Both the past continuous and the past perfect continuous, both are used to talk about actions that were in progress in the past. The only difference is that when we use the past perfect continuous is that we describe an action that happened before another action or before a period of time or a point of time in the past, okay? But the past continuous is used while another action happened. For example, I'm going to use the past continuous here, okay? I was watching TV. Sorry. Watching TV and my mom called me. Okay. So as you can see in this example, I'm going to make a timeline here. In this example, I have here the timeline. So I was watching TV and my mom called me here. And my mom called me. Yo estaba mirando televisión y mi mamá me llamó. Entonces interrumpió esta acción en progreso. ¿Cierto? En cambio, si yo digo, I had been watching TV for 2 hours. And after that, my mom called me. So this is different. This is different because here we have the timeline, right? And I had been watching TV for 2 hours. And my mom called me after this. After the action that was in progress. Okay, so this is the difference between the past continuous and the past perfect continuous. Okay, siempre cuando estemos hablando de past perfect or past perfect continuous, estamos hablando de una acción que pasa antes de otra cosa. Okay, so let's go to the book. Vamos a completar el grammar panel, okay? Grammar panel here. Past perfect continuous. Let's do it very quickly. Past perfect continuous. To form the past perfect continuous, we use had, been, and the verb in the ing form. For example, they've been waiting in the snow for 2 days. Algo que quiero que tomen en cuenta es que siempre que utilizamos el past perfect continuous, hacemos énfasis en cuánto tiempo estuvimos esperando, cuánto tiempo estuvimos realizando esta actividad. ¿Ok? Entonces hacemos un énfasis en eso. For 2 days, for 3 minutes, for 2 hours. ¿Ok? Past perfect continuous shows that an action was completed or was in progress. What do you think?
Was in progress.
Was in progress. Before or after a given moment or event in the past. This action was in progress before or after?
Before.
Before, right? For example, they have been waiting in the snow for 2 days. Esto pasó antes. Y después pasó esto. Sorry. The storm finally died down. Ok, entonces esto pasó antes y luego la tormenta terminó. ¿Cierto? Let's go to the next one. Past perfect continuous or past continuous. We use the past perfect continuous to talk about an action in the past that was in progress when another shortened action took place. ¿Ok? Lo que estábamos diciendo anteriormente. Utilizamos el past continuous para describir una acción que estaba en progreso y una acción la interrumpió, pasó también. ¿Ok? Por ejemplo, while they were sleeping in their igloo, their tent blew away. Entonces, pasó mientras ellos estaban durmiendo. De repente, la tienda se desmoronó. ¿Ok? This emphasizes the fact that the two actions happened one after another or happened at the same time. What do you think? One after another or happen at the same time?
Happen at the same time.
At the same time, right? Both happen at the same time. So remember, past continuous when something happened at the same time that the other, okay? And here we have the next one. We use the past perfect continuous to emphasize that an action was in progress at the same time or for some time before the second shorter action.
For some time before.
For some time before. For example, the storm finally died after they had been waiting in the storm for 2 days. Entonces, ellos habían estado esperando en la nieve por 2 días y luego de eso la tormenta terminó. ¿Ok? Entonces pasa después. Very good. Past perfect continuous or past perfect simple. Let's see the difference. We use the past perfect simple to say that an action finished or was in progress before a certain point in the past. What do you think? Past perfect simple.
Finish.
Finished. It was completed, right? And it emphasizes the action. ¿Qué enfatiza? Hace énfasis en completion of the action, porque terminó. ¿Ok? Entonces, por ejemplo, they had to get the eggs when they had just been laid. ¿Ok? Entonces, esta acción terminó y luego pasó la segunda acción. ¿Ok? Entonces, cuando utilicen el past perfect simple, tienen que tener en cuenta eso. Una acción terminó antes de otra. ¿Ok? The past perfect continuous emphasizes the length of time in the action that was in progress. For example, they had been planning the expedition for months. ¿Ok? Entonces, siempre hacemos énfasis en el tiempo que se realizó. ¿Cuánto tiempo estuvimos haciendo eso o habían estado haciendo eso? For 2 months, for 5 days, for years, I don't know. Okay? So this is the difference between these tenses. Any questions?